What's going on? What's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live for this special Midnight Madness, Midnight Mass edition of Steele Live. It's great to have you with us tonight, and thank you for joining me in this late twilight hour. This is literally, honestly, folks, the soonest I was able to get on given my workload today, so thank you guys for joining me this late evening, and got an interesting show lined up for you tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun, so just sit back and relax, whether you got some chamomile tea or a glass of wine or something in between. Just get settled in, because we're going to do it to it, boppers. We're going to get down to it, boppers. But before we begin, if I could just ask you to hit that like button. I want you to smash that like button like you'd smash your first childhood celebrity crush. Guys, it just takes a split second of your time. It doesn't cost you a dime. And it's the number one thing you can do to help the channel out. Also, if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You're watching Steele Live, of course, Steven Steele. And we've just got an awesome, eccentric, really the best community here, honestly, and I'd love you to be a part of it. So hit subscribe, hit all that notification bell. I send with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Lastly, if you feel compelled to super chat anywhere throughout the duration of this broadcast, that's obviously hugely appreciated for all the time and efforts put in on these shows night after night. Without any further ado, let's see who's active in the chat. We got Zaxy, good to see you, Zaxy. Mr. Lynn, good to see you, Mr. Lynn. Diamond Hands Freddy, of course, 7-1 Hump Deezy. Hector the Dude, Julio, good to see you. Mama Crypto, of course, great to see you. Heath Havens, good to see you back in the mixer. Hunter Wayne, yes, Hunter Wayne, good to see you. And Shadoshi, Chico Doge, haven't seen Chico Doge in here in a minute, good to see you. Audio Freak, yes, of course. The Zombie Doge Army, and the list goes on, Great to see you guys, So, right now, Dogecoin trading right at 17 cents right now. Now, what we're looking at right now is a 5-minute chart. So let's go to the 15-minute chart here. Just give me a moment, folks. And look how dynamic that 15-minute chart is. What a roller coaster ride, huh? Just the trading volume is actually very, very high tonight. Let's put things in perspective here and just see how Doge has been doing over the past day, and where it's heading into this late twilight evening. So to make things quite clear to you guys, over the last 24 hours, we've pretty much been trading sideways. So no gains, but no losses. So it could be a lot worse, folks. The last hour, we're starting to see a little bit of an uptick here, a little bit of a bullish swing, I would say. We're up about almost going on 0.5% within the last hour. Hopefully this is the Steele effect taking hold, folks. So I will keep you posted on that. Now, to put things in more perspective, over the last week, still considering the correction retracements we've seen following the initial Dogecoin pump at the behest of partial Dogecoin integration with Tesla, we are still looking at an 18% increase over the last 7 days. So that's fairly significant. Well, not quite over the last 7 days, since Sunday, but still. So we are still hanging tough, folks. Not too shabby, especially considering where Bitcoin's been. So Bitcoin right now, guys, Bitcoin is trading just a little bit over 42,000. Pretty much been trading sideways over the last week. Ethereum at a measly 3,200. Not good over the last week, but even at that, it's up about 3%, which is nothing to write home about, folks. So still after post retracement levels, Dogecoin is still holding up very strong, actually, very dynamically compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is a pretty underrated sign of bullishness, and I know it's pretty easy for people to conclude otherwise, where they say, given the announcements and all that hype, and here Dogecoin is trading at 17 cents. Well, I'd say hold the phone here, because comparatively to what the other big boys are doing on the top 10, Dogecoin is holding up remarkably well. We're still, at the end of the day, talking about cryptocurrency that's up 18% over the last week here. So compared to how the rest of the tops are doing, pretty good, to say the least. So Zaxi says, Denise Richards and Starship Troopers was my first crush. That's actually an excellent first crush. I get it. Denise Richards and Starship Troopers was an absolute classic beauty smoke show. So I concur with you there. Mr. Lynn says, Steven, any news regarding the Robinhood wallet? So all I can tell you is what we know and what we don't know. So we do have some clues and statements to suggest that this will be done by the end of the first quarter of this year. I think that's a pretty high probability, though I would say it's most likely going to happen right at the end of the first quarter, and that's going to be if I had to guess, guys, I would say those Robinhood wallets in reality are probably going to hit the general public, the general user base right around March. And there is a lot of people waiting for wallets, so it's going to take a little bit to process there. But this it could be an extraordinary step for Dogecoin enthusiasts, particularly considering that over 30% of of Dogecoin holders in totality are holding their Dogecoin, their dog money, on Robinhood. So I would guesstimate somewhere around March. Chicodo says, Steven, I haven't been on here for a while. Been back home, my home county, spending time with family, but I've been keeping an eye on Doge. I have a question for you that I feel many others have as well. Okay, well, you gotta put the question out, Chico Doge, before I can answer it. Don't you think Doge should be a minimum of 30s? I mean, not even Tesla is helping. Personally, I feel that we are way down below where we should be in a scary way. A lot of people are expressing these concerns right now. I mean, I can't tell you guys anything with absolute certainty, of course. It's all risky, as they say. But that being said, what I can tell you guys is this: Rome wasn't built in a day. Almost all of Elon Musk's most successful ventures took a while to cultivate, took several years to cultivate before the success really kicked in. I really don't see Dogecoin as any exception to that. Slow and steady wins the race. Furthermore, we are in a pretty tough market right now as it relates to cryptocurrency. So when you think if you feel underwhelmed at the performance of Dogecoin, you feel like it should be in its 30s, also consider that we are still living in a Bitcoin dominant market. That's just the facts, whether you like it or not, whether we like it or not. I don't always think it'll necessarily be that way, but the reality is that's where we are now, right? So that being said, Bitcoin and the trends of Bitcoin and the depressions of Bitcoin are still going to play a significant role on Dogecoin. That's the bad news. It's bad news and it's good news, though, because there's a certain peace and stability about that, because I don't think Bitcoin's going anywhere. I know people are setting off the alarm bells that Bitcoin's in its throes and it's just going to go spiraling down. I really don't see Bitcoin going anywhere below 40,000, maybe 39,000 at the very, very lowest. But what I can tell you is this. Things in this market can turn around very quickly. The crypto market has a history of being incredibly dynamic, and it wasn't that long ago. It was 2017, wherein Bitcoin fell all the way down to 3,000. People were saying it was the end of Bitcoin. Well, of course, since then, we've seen an ascendance of Bitcoin upwards of 65,000 plus, right? So also want to keep that in mind. Furthermore, people have been saying, predicting the end of Dogecoin since 2013. It's still going long, still going strong. If it's not hanging in the top 10, it's hanging right around it. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Now, I do think that we can be very optimistic about a number of things. First and foremost, the complete and total integration of Dogecoin into Tesla. And by that I mean when people are actually able to purchase vehicles with Dogecoin, Tesla vehicles with Dogecoin. I think this is going to be a pivotal turning point. I personally believe that there are throes of huge, big-time investors, well-money investors, that are kind of just observing Dogecoin. They haven't invested in it yet. But you got to understand, to those people, the full acceptance of Dogecoin integration into a company like Tesla is the metric they're waiting for, is the bar that they're waiting for to be achieved. When these big investors can see that Dogecoin has been popular and successful enough wherein Elon Musk has permitted people to actually buy full-on vehicles with Dogecoin, I think this is going to cause quite a stir in a good way, a real sea change. And I think a lot of those big money investors that have been just kind of curiously observing Dogecoin from the sidelines will begin to ape in on the project. And this could cause a very cascading parabolic effect. And it wouldn't surprise me if it played out that way. It really wouldn't. Now, there's other things at play that are happening within the first quarter of this year, guys. We've got the Doge 1 mission to the moon, literally putting a rocket called Doge 1 with a physical Dogecoin on the moon. We don't have an exact date on that, though. Geometric Energy Corporation hasn't released an exact date, but they have indicated that it will most likely be, again, at the end of this first quarter. Of course, the Robinhood wallets, I don't think we're going to see full Tesla Dogecoin integration until those Robinhood wallets are released. So I think we're going to probably see a tremendous apex as it relates to Dogecoin right at the end, towards the end of the first quarter of this year. And I think that's where it's all coming to a head. It's really tremendously exciting. Furthermore, you don't want to see these wild ups and downs with huge heavy margins. That's not healthy. You want to see steady rise and steady growth. Slow and steady wins the race. And like I say many times, the majority of crypto millionaires and crypto multimillionaires, accomplish that simply through investing in very high quality projects with solid utility, with a solid community and active development, and holding on to those investments for over a course of several years, not 1 year, not even 2 years, and certainly not 6 months. We're talking several years. The most notable example of that, of course, in my mind, is Nick Balls, who used to be a regular co-host of mine, and that he did just that, right? He invested in Dogecoin, a pretty good amount, but not like 100,000, but he invested about 10,000 in Dogecoin way back in 2014. And he didn't really see the huge big margin, huge big returns on that until, guess what? About a year and a half ago, right? So there's a guy that practiced patience and the simple active hold on a high utility project for 6.5 years before he saw those big tasty gains. So a lot of us that are getting ants on our pants right now, personally, I've only been invested in Dogecoin a little more than a year now, and I think most of you that are watching are probably in that same boat. So it's really easy to get anxious, right? But what we fail to see sometimes when we take a step back is how ridiculously far Dogecoin has come over the last 12 months, and certainly how far it's come over the last year and a half. It's exceptional. It's exceptional. Now, again, we are still living in a Bitcoin dominant market. So we have to look at what's going on there. I have no doubt in my mind that if Bitcoin had followed through on the predictions of many, by achieving $100,000 end of year 2021 and taking that into the new year, we'd be looking at quite a different story for Dogecoin. We'd be more than likely looking at Doge somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 to 75 cents, frankly. So that's just it, guys. That's just it. So try not to stress out about it too much. In all good, in good time, my friends. In good time. Zombie Doge Army. Finally, someone popping that cherry with the first super chat of the night with a rock lock. I love it. Here's my rock. Here's the lock. That's for you, my friend. Zombie Doge Army coming in with a $3 make you holler. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. What would happen to Doge price if Tesla stops accepting Doge? This is an excellent question. Firstly, I think this is highly improbable given Elon's long-term affinity with the coin. Also, Elon's having fun with it. He's here to stay, folks. He's been communicating with the Dogecoin devs for almost 4 years now in efforts to optimize the performance of it. This has been a long journey that's led to what we're seeing now. And as far as from a PR standpoint and the public perception of Dogecoin, it's changing before our very eyes for the better. I specifically went over this a number of times throughout my last show, as you recall, and I think this is a really good sign. Also, too, you want to keep in mind is there can be a lot of very bullish things happening both in front of house and back of house, not just for Dogecoin, but for any project, and it's not necessarily going to reflect right along on that timeline, right? Express itself in high market value. Many times it kind of will happen kind of seemingly organically after these dynamics come into play. That's what we've seen with Doge in the past, and that's where it seems to really perform best is when the table is set, when a number of things have been occurring for a while that foster a positive environment for Dogecoin, then we kind of see it ascend on its own time and its own place and do its thing. And every time you look back at every significant rise, really significant rise of Dogecoin over the past 24 months, that's pretty much been the deal with a few exceptions. Most notably, when, of course, Dogecoin, we saw it go from somewhere in the neighborhood of 6.5 cents to 45 cents throughout the course of 48 hours, about 7 or 8 months ago. And that had no apparent rhyme or reason to it. Elon wasn't particularly pumping it or sending out any Doge tweets. There wasn't any one particular event that really, spawned the whole affair. But here we are. I believe that the market kind of moves in delayed reaction to positive events that take place in favor of a project, particularly when you're talking about a solid long-term hold. Folks, would you rather have a project that has showed strong, steady growth over a long period of time, or would you like to see what happens with most BSC projects where you just see one big hit and quit it spike that goes just astronomical, and then it finishes and it's done, and you got a real short list of people who did very well with that investment, and everyone else gets left holding the bag? Personally, I like to fill up the majority of my portfolio with the former and not the latter. Okay. Anyway, let's get to some news story. So Fox Business reporting today that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin have all continued to slide. The largest crypto market value slipped by over 1% in the afternoon trading, hovered around the 42,000 level. Ethereum and Dogecoin were also lower. Despite the ongoing volatility, digital currencies are expected to grow in acceptance this year as Bitcoin's value remains well off its highs just 2 months ago. The cryptocurrency declined roughly 30% from its all-time high near 69,000 in November. Yes, do you remember that? Dogecoin. Bitcoin went to nearly 70,000 just in November. And now technical indicators suggest the sell-off is starting to stabilize. It's starting to stabilize, okay, folks? A recent Visa survey of more than 6,000 participants across 8 countries found that nearly 1 in 3 crypto-aware adults already own or use cryptocurrency, and that the majority of the group, 62%, say that their use has increased over the last year. So, what I would add to the story, the big takeaways from this sort of reporting is this. Overall, overwhelmingly, crypto adoption is plowing forward, and in just magnificent way when you look at all the data. When you look at all the data, folks. Secondly, what I'd tell you is just a short time ago, and what I mean by a short time ago, literally just a couple months ago, just 2.5 months ago, Bitcoin was at an all-time high of nearly 70,000. Now it's tumbled to 42,000. But not many people are saying that Bitcoin's done for, or that the future of Bitcoin's dismal. I mean, quite the opposite. So when you look at the tumble that Bitcoin has incurred just over the last 2 months, and then we see Dogecoin hanging on to about 17 cents, comparatively doing much better by percentage over the last week than both Bitcoin and Ethereum put together. Folks, no reason to be too down the dumps. Really, no reason to be too down the dumps. Honestly. So, look, when you enter the crypto market, it's not the stock market. It's a lot more volatile. It's a lot more wacky. And it's not for everyone. The crypto trajectory for solid projects is very, very topsy-turvy, but compared to stocks anyway. That being said, at the end of the day, what do you want to see? You want to see an overall ascendancy when you step back and you look at the long-term projections of what's going on there. And Dogecoin offers this, Bitcoin offers this, Ethereum offers this, AVAX, Solana, and others. VeChain even, and the list goes on. I would say the majority, if you look at the top 15, not all, but most, tell this tale, have this narrative in common. Mose Blaze says, I never thought Doge would be at where it did when I bought it at a fraction of a penny. Thank you, Mose. It's good to get comments like that, because a lot of this is in the eye of the beholder. When was your entry point? When was your entering positions? We got a fellow in chat right now that his entering position was at a fraction of a penny. So if you got into Doge at a fraction of a penny and you're coasting along at 17 cents right now, you're not complaining. Now, who's more likely to complain? People that bought above, right? People that bought closer at the top. Of course, they're going to be freaking out. They're not going to have a very favorable disposition towards Dogecoin if you bought at 70 cents, even if you bought at 40 cents. Heck, even if you bought at 25 or 30 cents. Some folks can get discouraged there. But as I often say, when people inevitably ask me, Steele, Mr. Steele, whenever Dogecoin's pumping or whenever any crypto is significantly pumping, and they ask me, is now a good time to buy? And my first rebuttal is a question with a question. Well, how long are you willing to hold? Right? I've advised close friends and family members that have been very new to cryptocurrency just over this last year. And some of those folks didn't buy at very advantageous times. They bought more near the top, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, etc. And what do I advise for those folks? And I'm not an advisor, by the way, just disclaimer. But how are you willing to hold, firstly? Secondly, if you are one of those people that bought Doge somewhere at 45, even 55 cents or something, and you're out there, what can I tell you? What can I tell you is just enjoy the ride. It's going to be a long ride, and just relax. Just relax. Relax and have fun. Tune into your man, Real Deal, Steele. Calm your nerves. Get involved in the community here, because if you have the patience, if you got the wherewithal, there's a pretty good probability that future self is going to thank the 2022-year-old you for having that tenacity to see things through. Okay? See the tenacity to see things through. The background music is scary. I can't hear my background music right now. Let me hear it. Let me turn up a second. There's a pretty good... Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Let's see what's going on in the chat. RW says he got in at 29. Mo says I'm up 3,000%. Still and was all the way at 13,000 in May. Never pulled it. Yeah, he's got a pair of brass ones there. I got to admit, hindsight's always 20/20. But on the evening of Saturday Night Live, if I had to do it again, I probably would have pulled 10%. I would have pulled 10%. I pulled 0, but if I had to do it again, I would have pulled 10 and secured those profits. One thing I think will really help us extremely is the darn Robinhood wallets. Yeah, Chico Doge. Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I think there are going to be some fantastic. I think these things cumulatively, particularly as they bounce off each other, and don't get it twisted, folks. Between the Robinhood wallets and full Dogecoin integration with Tesla. And other factors, the Doge Ethereum bridge, and it goes on. I think these are all going to kind of create a cocktail, if you will, that's very, very potent. That's going to likely have just an incredibly bullish effect on Dogecoin. I don't know when that levee breaks. That's my favorite Led Zeppelin song, by the way. But I do believe it's going to happen. Trying to average down, especially on red days. Last man standing says, especially if you bought her in the 40s, buy the dip and hold. Yeah, that's those are pretty sage words, I would say, for high utility projects with strong communities. Anyway, let's get to another story, Morning Glory. Let's get down to it, boppers. So let's see here. Let's zoom on over to Twitter. And what occurred on Twitter yesterday? Well, I'll tell you what. Our friend Billy Marcus tweeted this out. He said, and this is funny because I've expressed this sentiment in various ways on this program a number of times. And he says, I don't understand why people still have a meltdown about Dogecoin's origin as a joke. Something can be a joke and still be useful. Yeah, there's kind of a cognitive dissonance there with us within some circles of crypto where something can't be funny and valuable at the same time, which is silly when you consider what huge successful industries are involve comedy, right? I mean, it's just silly. But even more notable, Elon Musk responded to that. And how did Elon Musk respond to that? He said, the most entertaining outcome is the most likely. Now, we've heard this before from Musk, but we haven't heard it in quite some time. But he first made that quote famous in a Man on the Street interview, I think courtesy of TMZ, about 7 months ago or so, where he stated this in reference to Dogecoin. So it was great to see him firm up and pull out that winner again. And so that was a really kind of stoic, epic little exchange between Billy Marcus and Elon Musk yesterday. And I love it. And I retweeted that, and I said something to the effect of, he's talking about Doge. He's talking about Dogecoin. Yep. Hunter Wayne says, I like the night shows. I'm such a night owl. Well, you're in the right place, my friend. I'm a night owl as well. And we've got Remy just up on the couch, off the couch, on the couch, off the couch. And you can't see her, but right now she is laying right behind me. That's usually where she ends up and settling herself when I go live. She likes to just kind of bury up right next to me, right behind me, and lay down while I'm chatting and gabbing away with you fine folks. Guys, if you're just tuning in, you're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele. It's great to have you with me tonight. If you haven't already, if I could just ask you to hit that like button. It really does help out a lot. And if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you and invite you to join this community. Honestly, we've got the best community out here, and I want you to be a part of it. So hit subscribe, hit all on that notification bell. Send with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond. If you got any other questions for me, feel free to shoot them out there. And obviously, super chats are hugely appreciated for the time and efforts put in. We got Carlos in the mix. Good to see you, Carlos. Boof, welcome. Alrighty then. So let's see what else we got on the roster, folks. Let me go to my notes here. This one's courtesy of Benzinga. Here's what Elon Musk has to say about Dogecoin's joke origins, just as we just talked about. So this little Twitter exchange made it into several financial publications, website, news sources, whatever you want to call them. What happened? Dogecoin co-creator Billy Marcus said on Twitter on Monday that he didn't understand why people still have meltdowns about Dogecoin's origin as a joke. Marcus said, something can still be a joke and be useful. Musk tweeted in response, the most entertaining outcome is the most likely. Why it matters. Dogecoin was created as a joke by Marcus and Jackson in 2013. Even so, the cryptocurrency has seen a phenomenal rise in price and has attracted the attention of retail investors. In 2021 alone, Dogecoin rose almost $3,000 in value. Last week, Tesla began accepting Dogecoin for its online store and began displaying pricing of several merchandise items directly in with the meme coin. Musk is a well-known Doge aficionado, often tweets about the cryptocurrency and has defended Doge despite its infinite supply, so-called, and touted its transactional capabilities. Again, folks, just for a little perspective, Dogecoin rose by over 3,000% in 2021. And it's still hanging tough right at or around the top 10 now. Have we seen other coins go 3,000% or higher in 2021? We certainly have. But what's the key difference between those projects and Dogecoin? They're long gone. Okay? They had their one and done. I can think of several BSC tokens right now that went 3,000x and up throughout the course of last year, but they're gone. No one talks about them, or they're one and done. Where Dogecoin not only rose 3,000%, but has showed such a tremendous resilience, where it's still one of the most talked about, one of the most popular, and by definition, market cap, one of the most popular cryptocurrencies on the planet. So a lot of times progress is about perspective, and when you put in the proper perspective, particularly as it relates to Dogecoin, in my opinion, a lot has been made. There's a lot to be optimistic about. Of course, I empathize with all of us that would love to see and think. I think Dogecoin is tremendously undervalued. Of course, I think it should be well over 50 cents right now. I think Dogecoin is worth more than $1 as we sit here right now, fellowshipping late in the night. But I think eventually that's going to happen. For me, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Other people ask me, do you think Doge could ever make it to $2? I say absolutely. Absolutely. I can't tell you when, but I think it's a very high probability that Doge eventually gets there, and perhaps beyond. Okay, let's go to the next one here. This one's kind of funny. NFT Group buys a copy of Dune for £2.66 million, believing it gives them copyright. Oh, big mistake. Oh my gosh, big mistake. You know what we used to call lingo that we used to call mullets. For mullets was the achy breaky big mistakey, and that was based off of the quintessential mullet that was adorned by Miley Cyrus's dad, Billy Ray. The achy breaky big mistakey. Oh, these guys made an achy breaky big mistakey. A group of crypto enthusiasts have made an unusual purchase, a rare copy of Dune by science fiction writer Frank Herbert for a staggering £2.70 million, pretty much. It's an odd occurrence when a book is expected to fetch for $25,000, goes for 100 times that amount. But the stranger part is that the buyers, a collective called Spice DAO, appear to believe that owning an early copy of the hit sci-fi about space worms gives them the copyright to do with it what they will. We won the auction for $2.66 million, Spice DAO wrote on Twitter. Now our number one mission is to make the book public. to an extent permitted by law. 2, to produce an original animated limited series inspired by the book and sell it to the streaming service. Support derivative projects for the community. In fact, they have bought none of these rights. They have bought a book. And this is like picking up a copy of Lord of the Rings and believing you can make the official film yourself now. Yeah, guys, I like Dune just fine, but even if I had the money, I wouldn't buy any NFT version of any book for that kind of money. You wouldn't catch me doing it. And if I did, it better buy me the rights to be able to make some merchandising out of it. But it didn't. It didn't. So know what you're buying. Know what you're getting yourself into, even if it's like a collaborative group thing. Don't be like these folks. Don't be like these folks. Please. While we're covering NFTs, I got one more NFT story for you. Gaming YouTubers have had their likeness stolen and sold as NFTs. Alana Pierce, James, Stephanie Sterling, and Catakaris have so far been victims. I don't really follow gaming. I'm not particularly into gaming. I've never been really a gamer, and so I don't know who any of these people are, but I assume they're some of the most popular gaming streamers out there. But the NFTs cropped up on an auction on OpenSea, included an image of the content creator and unique URL for the cards. That's merely the YouTube channel address. The user Stake the Web appears to be making NFTs of influencers across social media, including gaming YouTubers, I told you, shilling off a profile picture for a collection that you can just make yourself on Facebook. Photo album is honestly a new level of pathetic, Katakara said. Frankly, I'm not surprised that some freeloading leech turned my channel into an NFT. As gross as it is, I find it justified. I do not consent to this. I do not want this. It demonstrates everything I've said about how disrespectful and exploitative this market is. Not only is this practice theft, creator and writer Sony Santa Monica, Alana Pierce, has had her image used in, let's say, adult ways by a different user on the platform. In extremely predictable news, I've just been informed that somebody has taken an image of me I own and trademarked a prawn logo on it and minted it to sell for profit as an NFT. Naturally, I was not asked for permission. It goes on and on. Guys, those of you who've been watching me for a while know I raised these concerns way back when NFTs first started going mainstream. I warned people. I said this particularly NFT market, much more so than the crypto market, in my opinion, is in dire need actually of regulation. And I'm not a fan, just to be clear, I'm not a fan of over-regulation. I'm not a fan of government taking excessive taxes. In fact, it's quite the opposite for me, particularly as it relates to our investments. But that being said, NFTs are different in the sense that you're talking a lot about an industry that's very, very heavily reliant on people's individual creativity, people's individual creative talents, endeavors, and brands that they built up for themselves. And there's no regulation to literally just stop people right now from taking a profile picture of you or your own URL and making an official NFT out of it for someone to profit off of. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. In fact, the Wu-Tang Clan actually got busted several months ago for doing just that. They were literally, check this out. My opinion of the Wu-Tang Clan is really lacking since this. So what they were doing, they were taking other artists' artwork, okay, and then they were just putting Wu-Tang Clan logos on other artists' artwork that they did not consign or pay, and then they just made NFTs out of it and called them Wu-Tang NFTs. How stupid is that? How ridiculous is that? Now, I think people that do things like that, they should be subject to laws of governance. They should be subject to laws that would penalize people for doing this. Absolutely. People need, in order for the NFT scene to prosper over a long period of time, in the long run, we need to remedy this stuff. I mean, just some basic laws in place to protect people's rights, to protect people's intellectual property, I don't think is too much to ask. Slide Edge coming in with a $5 super chat. Good to see you, Slide Edge. Glad you made it. Made it in time. Yes. Guys, it's about 1:15 in my neck of the woods, 1:15 in the morning. If you're out in that West Coast, you're riding at about 11 p.m. And if you're in Florida or the East Coast, you are a true night owl, Doge after darker, crypto vamp, whatever you want to call it. A little bit after bar time. A little after bar time, you were at about 2:15 a.m. Now, I was planning on having Sadat Jadran, my co-host with the mostest, on the show this evening. I got caught up with a big workload today, and I lost track of time while doing that work, and consequently, I wasn't able to go on until late and couldn't sync that up with Sadaf. But rest assured, Sadaf and I are talking, and she will be back on the program within the week. I'm not sure. I'll have a date probably tomorrow on that. But I got another booking announcement to make on the 21st. Mark this down in your calendars. I will be hosting on January 21st. It's been solidified now with our homie, our friend of the Steele community, none other than core Dogecoin developer, contributor, Ross Nickel, will be here live on Steele on the 21st. Now, keep in mind, we're going to be doing an afternoon show because Ross is over in the United Kingdom, so we're about 6 hours apart, so scheduling can be a little tricky. So consequently, because of that, we're going to do an afternoon show. So it's important, if you're not already subscribed, you need to subscribe right now. If your notifications aren't set on all and you're already subscribed, do it now. Do it now. Put your notifications set on all so that it takes the guesswork out. You know right when we go on, you know right when we go live, and you won't miss any of these exciting programs. So yeah, Ross Nickel, this January 21st, him and I, one-on-one, mano a mano. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great talk. We're going to talk about a variety of topics. And Ross has become, frankly, a good friend of mine over the last year, and just a real ace guy, real phenomenal person, and a brilliant mind, frankly. And somebody I feel that we're fortunate enough to have on the development team and sit on the Dogecoin Foundation. Alrighty then, let's go to a next story, Morning Glory. This one's kind of funny. This comes courtesy of Business Insider. I had to read it twice. A story so nice, you got to read it twice. Former SpaceX, get a load of this, folks. Former SpaceX engineer says his pizza-making robot located across the road from Elon Musk's headquarters exploded by spraying cheese everywhere during its testing. Ex-SpaceX engineer said his pizza-making robot sprayed cheese everywhere during its initial testing. CEO of Benson Tsai, who worked at SpaceX for 5 years, said that there was a bug in the robot system. Stellar Pizza, which launches this spring, is just across the street from SpaceX and from the California headquarters. One of the failures happened 3 years ago when the pizza-making robot dumped melted cheese everywhere, and I mean everywhere, in an explosive manner during testing, he said. Stellar's pizza robot was attempting to make a cheese pizza, but the robot's motors started spinning the wrong way, pulled the cheese off of the pizza and onto an automated peel, which slides the pizza in and out of the machine. The cheese went in all the wrong places, according to Tsai. The company figured out that there was a bug in the robot system which caused the cheese explosion. It's funny, but all part of the design process. Well, we don't like wasting cheese. An event like this is a great learning opportunity for our team. It was much cheaper than crashing a rocket to gain insight into our machine. Well, folks, as they say, it's not easy being cheesy. Next story, folks. Next story. This one comes courtesy of the Daily Wire. California could double its taxes to start massive new social programs. And a new constitutional amendment in California could cause taxes to soar in order to establish a universal single-payer healthcare system. According to an analyst from the Tax Foundation Assembly Constitutional Amendment, which requires 2/3 of both houses and state legislature for approval, would introduce surtaxes atop the current individual income tax structure beginning at $149,000 in income, graduated payroll tax system at the top rate kicking in for its employees more than 49, almost 50,000 in annual income, and a gross receipts of 2.3%, excluding the first $2 million in business income. Get this, folks. The net effect would increase taxes almost $13,000 annually per household. Oh gosh, roughly doubling the state's already high tax collections. Top marginal rate for wages could rise almost 20%, significantly higher than the nation's median top marginal tax rate of 5.3%. Goodness gracious. I know several of you guys are from California. God bless you, man. The Tax Foundation says the new tax package is intended to raise an additional $1.63 billion per year, which is more than California raised in total revenue any year prior to the pandemic. California's new tax proposal occurs as residents continue to flee the state. Indeed, a new report showed that more than 600,000 people have left New York and California for lower tax states. Recently, Elon Musk, who moved himself from the Golden State to Austin, Texas, blasted California lawmakers over a bizarre new solar tax, even creating a website for people to send complaints to the governor, Newsom. And this is just we're talking about taxation and on just incomes. We're not even talking about the taxation people are going to get walloped with through green energy, which is just baffling. Just baffling. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. I haven't seen that film in quite some time. Those old Elvis films. I'm not the biggest Elvis fan in the world, but I like him. I like him enough. You know who also sounds like Elvis is Danzig, the singer of the seminal punk rock band, the Misfits, and went on, of course, to be solo as simply Danzig. He kind of has that Elvis kind of vibrato. Yeah. I mean, if here's the thing, there's already a tremendous industry drain, a brain drain, exodus happening in California. You add that to already steeply increasing the taxation on one of the states with the highest taxation rates to begin with. I think you're probably in trouble in pretty short order. Someone says they love Danzig. Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words, what they mean, what they say. He does kind of sound, especially as, Danzig does, honestly, Danzig kind of sounds like Elvis to me sometimes. I love Mother. I love that song. I like Danzig. I like the Misfits. I like them both. And, the guy that took over for Danzig so that the Misfits could still tour and perform, he did a pretty good job, too. What was his name? Michael something? Like Michael Skull or something, I forget. But he did good. He did a good job. All things considered. All things considered. Let's see what's going on here, guys. We've got... Now, this was a huge scandal that broke today. I reported it this morning on Twitter as soon as I found out about it, as I was gathering information. Those who are on Crypto.com, you might want to be careful. You might want to be careful because things aren't too secure over there. Things are too secure over there as of now. And what is going on? Folks, what's going on with Crypto.com? Well, I'll tell you exactly what's going on. Essentially, a lot of Ethereum has been cleaned out on the platform. Up to $20 million worth of Ethereum has been cleaned out of Crypto.com. And some users are reporting having their Ethereum Ethereum, their personal Ethereum cleaned out. Billy Marcus was also reporting this morning and discovering strange patterns occurring on some of the ETH hot wallets over there, which indicates that this could be an inside job. So it looks like there's probably a security breach amongst their own ranks and stealing from its customer base. So if you're holding Ethereum on crypto.com, be very, very careful at this point, guys. Be very careful. I'm going to dress like Elvis when we get to Vegas. Oh, yeah. That's okay. Yeah. I can't wait to party with you guys in Vegas. And that is the name of the game. Our big weekender party in Vegas somewhere throughout the course of this year. Hopefully, Jesse Hughes band will be playing. That would be phenomenal. He said he's down to do it. So the Eagles of Death Metal could be playing our weekender, our Vegas weekender this year, which would be just pretty epic. But either way, we're gonna have a good time. Whenever it is that we meet, I look forward to meeting each and every one of you fine folks. Let's see. Do I got anything else on the roster here? It's kind of interesting. Walmart plans to offer cryptocurrency, NFTs, and filing reveals. In August, Walmart launched a search for a digital currency and cryptocurrency product lead. The filing was on December 30th. Listed under the retailer's digital advertising business, Walnut. Go shopping at Walnut. Walmart Connect outlines a financial transaction service involving cryptocurrency, NFTs, and blockchain technology that will be used by members of an online community via global computer network. Walmart is continuously exploring how emerging technologies may shape future shopping experiences. The spokesman told Fox Business, "We don't have any further information to share today, but it's worth noting that we routinely file trademark applications as a part of an innovation process." I don't know. Do we need a Walmart metaverse? What happens to what would be great is if there was the people of Walmart metaverse. You guys know that site has been around for a long time, the People of Walmart, and where people post images of the most shocking and bizarre Walmart shoppers out there. It's just ripe with endless material there. So maybe we could do the people of Walmart metaverse. I wonder if you go to the Walmart metaverse, if you could still find like some folks that look like they're out of My 600-Pound Life, wheeling along with their kids hanging on. There was actually footage of a woman like that in Walmart where she was a large woman, and she was on a scooter, and she had all three of her kids, who were able-bodied, by the way, all riding on her scooter with her, and one of the little girls was laying down on the scooter. What in the world? Yeah, that was one of the more amusing things that I had seen. Jason Hubman coming in with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Jason, for helping to keep the lights on over here at Steele HQ. Hugely appreciated. Random question: is the 70s furniture that you tweeted for sale? Yeah, it is. It is. It is for sale, and it's still for sale. I just posted it to my websites yesterday. but yes, it is. Yeah, I for the first time I actually posted some imaging of some furniture that I was working on to my Twitter account, and people seem to like it. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I do. And thank you, Jason. Really always appreciate you, man. Really always appreciate you. Keith Havens, Walmart is a nightmare. You know what's really a nightmare is IKEA. You ever walk into an IKEA? You realize how long it takes? If you even are there to pick up one thing at IKEA, you're walking at least 3 miles. You're walking at least 3 miles to get that one thing. You're walking at least 3 miles for that one thing. Yeah, you walk into an IKEA, it's just like, they've got a good thing worked out there, because it's definitely not the highest quality stuff by any means, but they get you to do all the shopping, they get you to do all the assembling, and then you have to look up where the products are that you want, according to their SKU codes, and walk down those aisles and take them home and assemble it all yourself. Pretty good gig. Pretty good gig. IKEA's a maze. I mean, IKEA is the craze maze, man. It's the craze and mazing. And then you walk like 4 miles to get your one lamp or whatever you picked up. That's going to take you like 5 hours to assemble. And by the time you get to the end of the maze to check out, you got like 2 people like sitting down, like passing out from exhaustion while eating Swedish meatballs. They got Swedish meatballs like dripping out of their mouths while they're just half conscious. As a former president probably would say, IKEA's a mess. IKEA's a big fat mess. RW says, I hate IKEA. It tells you where to walk, and then you have to buy all the furniture to build yourself, and it's a... You know, I love Scandinavian design. I'm a huge fan. But it's basically what IKEA had done is capitalize off of all the really high-quality, cutting-edge Scandinavian design that has happened over the years and made super cheap, inexpensive versions of those things, but the quality also reflects the prices, put it that way. Quality also reflects the prices. I say this to someone who sleeps on an IKEA mattress. My IKEA mattress is so strange. One side of it, you'll literally like hang down and basically like melt off the end of it. And the other side of it is very firm, very firm. And I haven't had this mattress for very long. It's just a very peculiar thing. I miss saying ish, like you always. Yeah, I think one of the funniest clips I saw of the former president is when he took a swipe at Elizabeth Warren while awarding some Native Americans like an award. Anyone to see that clip? It's wild stuff. You can't log into where? You can't log into where? I think I'm done with my news, guys. I think I'm done. Honestly, it was a very slow news cycle. Satanic Doge X Juniors thoughts. I don't know what you're talking about, Dingus. I haven't seen many of the juniors. I don't know what you mean by Satanic Doge X Juniors. I don't have any thoughts on them, Dingus. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them. So there's evil Doge X Juniors. Maybe they'll release like heavenly versus satanic ones. They could battle it out. It kind of reminds me of an old joke by Stephen Wright. I bought a humidifier and a dehumidifier. I've had them face each other in the same room and let them duke it out. People are putting up the emojis for Texas toast. Texas toast coming at you. Oh my goodness gracious. We've got a pretty good amount of people in here considering how late it is. We're at 1:35 in the morning, and you guys are just as wild as me. And I don't mind. I don't mind one bit. Cointelegraph reporting. Bitcoin stays in tight range as analysts eyes potential interesting week in Bitcoin. It all may be quiet on January 17th in the absence of Wall Street, but Bitcoin markets might not stay that way for long. Bitcoin hovered near 43,000 on January 17th as its boring price action combined with signs the market could be stabilizing. Leverage comes off all-time highs. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed Bitcoin staying firmly within its established trading range between 40,000 and 45,000. With a few surprises expected thanks to Wall Street holiday, traders took the opportunity to call for a level-headed approach to focus on altcoins. With the wolf of all streets tweeting this out, Bitcoin is down a few $100s. Quick someone come up with a narrative for this incredible crash and spread it around the media and Twitter. This is sarcasm. Nothing is happening. Bitcoin is sideways and boring. And he tweeted that out just yesterday. Yeah, I pretty much concur. A lot of the times the media will be very hyperbolic in a negative fashion towards cryptocurrency, towards Bitcoin, etc., and even Dogecoin when things are not going particularly well, but things not going poorly either. They're just trading sideways. But also you're talking about a lot of people now covering cryptocurrency in the mainstream media who don't particularly understand it, don't particularly have a grasp on its history to understand that sideways trading action for significant periods of time isn't generally a negative thing. In fact, many times it reveals to be a positive thing, which history shows that these are often accumulation periods before big bullish run-ups. Max Kaiser predicting Bitcoin to hit 222,000 this year. I mean, I hope he's right. I think Max is pretty ridiculous, honestly. He and I have traded some sassy barbs on Twitter in the past, actually. He knows who I am. He's a character, though. He's a character. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think about covered everything tonight, guys. If you got any other questions for me, feel free to put them in the chat. Pretty much right now, I've gotten through all my news articles, got through all the stories I wanted to cover. I'm just kind of checking out the chat, and we'll freestyle it for a little bit longer here. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd invite you to subscribe. Hit all on that notification bell. Send with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond, folks, and beyond. You know who predicted a $300,000 Bitcoin at the end of 2021 at one time was Bitcoin Crypto. Yes. Bitcoin Crypto predicted a $300,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2021. Isn't that wild? So I thought I was off. I mean, I was off. My end of year prediction for Bitcoin was somewhere around 75, 80,000. But I wasn't off like these guys. Cheetos, February and March shall be interesting with taxes coming in and out. What do you guys think? Lots of De Niro will be out. Yeah, that's always kind of an interesting dynamic. Tax season will really halt the market, and then, well, of course, when the returns start coming back, it definitely puts a shot in the arm, puts the pep in the step for sure in the market. And I don't think this next year will be any exception to that. In fact, I think once the tax returns start coming back this year, guys, I think we could very well, more than likely, see the most bullish performance in relation to tax returns that we've ever seen. And I'm basing that off of the evolution and adoption and just mainstream popularity of cryptocurrency that's occurred over the last 12 months. Jason Hubbard says, gotta head out. Sorry for the quick hi and bye. See you next time. Thanks for the show, Steven. Thank you, Jason Huffman. Great to see you, man. Thanks for coming in, even if it was for a short bit. I'll always appreciate you, man. We love you. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with tax season. Doge needs to get back on that 25 cent. Christopher James says, It will. I'm not even worried about it. Honestly, I'm not even worried about it. It's just not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Of course, everyone's wondering when Steven Steele is when will Dogecoin achieve 25 cents again? Well, I think it's very probable within the first quarter of this year, frankly. I think we have enough dynamics at play wherein not even the shorting whales could stop the critical mass of interest and investment that will be coming into Dogecoin, particularly, again, when Tesla achieves and embraces full Dogecoin integration to the extent that people will be able to buy vehicles, Tesla vehicles, any Tesla vehicle they want with Dogecoin. Again, I do think this is the predominant signal factor that many new well-moneyed investors are that have a lot of money in Bitcoin are waiting for. When they see that nod and that decisive action by Tesla for full Dogecoin integration, for people to be able to buy cars with them, I think that's the main signal that they're looking for. And at that point, things could get pretty wild pretty quick. Sliding Edge coming in with a $2 super chat. What's Bitcoin tax day predictions? 415, give me digits. Ugh. What's Bitcoin's tax day predictions? On tax day, like when your taxes are due, I think it's going to be not so good. Sliding Edge. I think it's not so good. I don't see, like I said, worst case scenario, I just don't see it getting any lower than 39,000. I haven't seen any indicators to show that that's the rock bottom, right? That's the rock bottom. But I don't know. I think it'll be. I think on tax day it'll be like high 40s. If I had to guess, like 48, 49,000. Julio Codina coming in with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Julio. Thank you for your support, man. Always great to have you in the mix. Always great to have you in the mix. What did you guys have for lunch today? I had Indian food for the first time in a long time. I had like a kind of like a gobi, which is like a pureed spinach dish with some chicken and some lentil soup. It was very good. It was very good. Hilarious when Matt Wallace said 25-cent gumball Dogecoin. I missed that. Donna Tabuki. I don't see Donna's not in here tonight. She's for a change. She's not in here. Hey, we can't expect people to. We can't even expect the most loyal locals to be here in every stream. But I will say, there's several of you in here right now. You guys literally don't miss a stream. I'd say Sliding Edge is very rare. Very rare that Sliding Edge ever misses a stream. Very rare that Zombie Doge Army misses a stream. Very rare that Mama Crypto ever misses a stream. To name a few. Chili Relleno, stuffed sausage hot dogs. Wow, that's ambitious. I didn't even know that was a thing, Sliding Edge. I didn't know that was a thing. You know who we're missing tonight? We're missing Alan Schneider. And we're missing Rock Lobster. I noticed, like, literally, each and every person that's watching the show right now, if you don't tune in for, like, a couple episodes, I notice, like, I subconsciously keep, like, little notes, like, little paste-it notes in my mind. And then when I see you guys the next time, I'm like, oh, I haven't seen you. Good to see you. Like, I notice. Doge at 75 cents. I got to build my dream house in Costa Rica. Julio says, hey man, no one wants your house in Costa get your house in Costa Rica more than I do. When we get there, let's party at your new mansion in Costa Rica. Zombie says Alan fell asleep. I'll text Alan and shame him. Alan's good people, man. Yeah, but give him a little business for me. Give him a little razzing for me. I live in this Philly cold. Oh yeah, you're definitely doing that East Coast winter thing. I'm definitely in some Arctic, quasi-Arctic temp. Actually, today was pretty nice. Today was probably, in my neck of the woods, it was 28, which to me is incredibly warm compared to the Arctic temperatures that I've grown up accustomed to. Guys, that's about it for me tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Hope you got some out of it. Hope you had fun. I always enjoy connecting with you fine folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter if you don't already, because I am active there, very active there all the time. So you can find me there. Anyway, guys, I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Stay positive. Keep the Doge momentum going strong. Have fun along the way. We got each other, and we're going to do it all over again tomorrow night. Believe it. Until next time, this is your man, Real Deal, Steven Steele. Signing out. See you guys.
rushing back.